on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's some quick stories you're waking up to on social media this morning. Buckingham Palace updated its website. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's two kids are now listed as Prince and Princess. Titles that are meaningless in the U.S. where they actually live.
Yes, funny thing is I read this before the show, and I thought to myself, our executive producer Andy's coming at me today.
Hey, it's
coming
true
at
though.
me today.
They're lame.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? Why? If you don't care about them, then why would you make a comment?
Because they continue to force themselves upon us.
So do the Kardashians.
And I can't stand them either.
Well, the National Aquarium returned 25 juvenile sea turtles to the ocean. Here's a look at them off the coast of St. Augustine. How crazy is that in Florida? The smallest turtle weighed just a little over 2 pounds. How cute.
It looks like a little kid like getting ready to go back in the water. I love it. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins wants to know how to set up a jellyfish tank. He's asking the internet for advice after already buying the jellyfish. Don't you think you want to ask about that at the store?
Why do we need a jellyfish?
That's a good question too.
Okay. What did he say?
What did Andy say? It just looks cool.
Okay, looks cool. All right then. Well, we're starting off this morning with a live look over the Gem City. It is a wet one out there. We are seeing a little bit of a drop in temperatures as well, and a potential for some snow. Yeah, I told you this was coming.
I know.
I told you.
No, you were like snowstorm.
No, I said this is going to happen.
You're right.
The other shoe will drop.
Yeah, and let's blame
Here we
Nick.
are.
Nick, you're up.
I was going to go to the replay, but you know what? It involves Elise, and I think that she's going to end up right somehow or another. She's going to change the replay. All right, here's what we're looking at. As you mentioned, some wet weather moving through, including the potential for a couple of wet snowflakes. Now, the main line is still yet to come, which is going to offer a better chance of us seeing snow. Right for now, we've got temperatures around 40 degrees in Dayton. We have 39 in Troy. 32 in Wapakoneta. This is going to be the area where we do expect the better chance of any type of, I would say, wet snow. But still, based on the fact that the upper atmosphere is still mild, what'll end up happening is a lot of this will begin to melt away. Temperatures starting out this morning in the low 40s, and we'll basically hang out in the low 40s all throughout the daytime. So this is not going to be a day where we warm up particularly that quickly or frankly, that much at all. So that is what's going on when it comes to weather. Let's check in with traffic where, yes, it is wet roads right now. One incident on I-70 that is well to the west, that is at exit 21 as you start to approach the Indiana-Ohio border. So that's part of your morning commute. You may need to give yourself some extra time if you're heading west into Indiana this morning.
And in just a matter of hours, Goodwill Easter Seals is hosting a second chance hiring event.
This gives those with a criminal history an opportunity to find work in the community. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with more on the jobs available. Alex.
Yeah, you know, several companies will be here trying to find workers for different positions. For example, Primetime Party Rental is looking to hire delivery crew and warehouse associates. Economy Linen and Towel Service Incorporated has availability in production and janitorial services. And Surge Staffing is in need of car parts assemblers. Goodwill Easter Seals community outreach program helps adults who are looking for employment or looking to improve the kind of job they currently have. Community Employment Manager Candy Mullins tells me a specialist works with people one-on-one to make sure they have everything they need to find a good fit. And then the specialists go out and contact second chance employers about what kind of job openings they have.
We kind of become the experts about the community and what's available. My employers are what we would call a second chance employer that would hire somebody who has an infraction in their background. They believe in giving second chances, and many times those employers, those main hiring managers are also somebody who's got a history themselves. So they're looking to help somebody else get that opportunity to be able to be a productive individual in the community and better their financial situation.
Last year, the organization ended up placing over 500 people through their employment programs. She tells me they've seen over 100 intakes so far this year, and 50 of those people have already found a job. Now we'll place everything we'll have everything you need to know about the Second Chance Hiring event underneath the local section of our website, Dayton247now.com. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about what it just means to, these future employees and employers, and even what it means to Goodwill Easter Seals employees who are, going out of their way to really make sure that these people have a second chance. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, we're learning what could have caused a train to derail in Springfield. Norfolk Southern says crews discovered loose wheels during the cleanup. The company says that could cause a derailment. Norfolk Southern says it's removed rail cars from service that had, quote, unusual wheel movement.
And we want to give you a live look this morning from the U.S. Capitol building here behind me, where Norfolk Southern, their CEO, was in the hot seat answering questions following last month's derailment in East Palestine. Now, during his testimony, Alan Shaw apologized to people living in East Palestine, saying the safety measures in place weren't enough. Now, lawmakers say they want him and the company to do more.
Will you, again, compensate these families for their diminished lost property value for homes and small businesses?
Senator, we've already committed $21 million, and that's a down payment.
That is a down payment. Will you commit to these innocent families do not lose their life savings in their homes and small businesses? The right thing to do is to say, yes, we will.
Senator, I'm committed to doing what's right for the community, and we're going to be there as
No,
long as it takes.
what's right for the community will then be balanced.
Now, Ohio Senators Sherrod Brown and J.D. Vance also testified. They're continuing to push for the Railway Safety Act. Of course, we're going to hear from them in just a matter of minutes.
Back here in Ohio, we're hearing from people living in East Palestine. One person who lives in the impacted area says so far the company has been vague in its guarantees.
There is no commitment from him on his end. At this point, it's just words. I don't believe words, I believe actions. And until we see some actions, I'm not going to trust anything that he said or didn't say.
Jamie Koza accuses CEO Alan Shaw of dodging questions from senators. Lawmakers pressed him for concrete answers to many yes or no questions. He avoided specific promises and often answered in generalities.
This morning, we are hearing from a man who lives next door to one of the several homes that caught fire in Dayton earlier this week. Now, so far, police haven't released the names of the 5 people killed. Dayton 24/7 Now's Gwyneth Falloon brings us up to speed as crews continue their investigation.
At this time, the investigation is still active and ongoing. We know 5 bodies were recovered. Their names or anything about them have yet to be released. According to a press release, crews responded to the home on North Broadway Street just before 4 Wednesday morning and remained on scene for nearly 18 hours. The cause of the fire still unknown. I spoke with Roger Blackburn, who lives next door in the home that also caught fire, and he tells me he's seen between 10 and 13 people coming in and out of the house. He says he and other neighbors have contacted the police department. You're the neighbor here. Did you see people coming and going from this house?
Yeah, it was about 12 or 13 people living in there.
Now, this is a developing story and an active investigation, so as information becomes available, we'll bring you up to date both here on air and online. Reporting in downtown Dayton, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
Our time right now is 5:08. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather is on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Taking a live look from Capitol Hill, where one local teen is heading to represent Ohio. Adam Merrill explains how her advocacy makes her a hometown hero.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
On ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Well, we are talking all about the S word this morning.
It's our favorite four-letter word.
Which one, actually? Which one are we talking about? Sorry, I'm sinking in my chair. I don't know why.
And we all can blame Nick.
Wait. No. There's FCC violations that,
No.
No. We're not blaming Nick for that. No.
Second letter N.
Third O, and then a W on the end.
Snot?
I said and a W on the end.
Listen, you claim to watch Wheel of Fortune every night, so come on here.
Yeah, but I lose all the time.
I'm gonna throw my chair.
That could be fun. I would watch that. So snow, Nick. What do we got?
Let's
Buckle
go
up?
snow. Here, I'll trade you chairs. This way, you don't. Yeah, right? They'll fix it eventually here, 3 years later. All right, let's go over to the weather wall and see what's going on. Showers are possible, including the potential for, yes, the S word, and that is mainly as snow. Now, is it the type of snow that's really going to measure up? No. I think it's more or less the type of snow that it's going to be flakes in the air and wet flakes, mainly, I would say, around noontime, give or take a couple of hours. That will pass through. From there, generally cloudy all the way through tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the dry day of the weekend. The latest trends have this system coming in just a touch drier for Sunday morning, but still, I think if this system can hold it together, we're actually going to get a shot at some measurable snow. That's not to say it's 100% certain. In fact, there is a lot of uncertainty with just how much wet weather we could get on Sunday. But realm of possibilities, that one would offer better chances of measurable snow than today. Today, flakes in the air, temperatures low to mid 40s all the way through Sunday. From there, upper 30s Monday and Tuesday. It is going to turn much cooler. In fact, probably about 15 degrees below average for those 2 days. From there, we'll see somewhat milder temperatures Wednesday and Thursday. But you look at all together, it is going to be a colder than average period. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, it is wet outside. It is Friday. Give yourself a little bit of extra time as you head out because you do have those roads quite damp as of right now.
A local teen fighting for change and giving others a voice.
As Adam Arrow explains, it's why she's a hometown hero.
This is 17-year-old Alexa Matthews. She was diagnosed with juvenile myoclonic epilepsy when she was 10. And since then, she's made it a mission to advocate for others and in the process, break the stigma around it. And recently, the Ohio Epilepsy Foundation chose her to go to Washington, D.C. to represent the state on this issue. So Matthews met with state and national lawmakers, sharing her story and advocating to help increase CDC epilepsy funding by $1.5 million. She called it an incredible and unforgettable experience and is so grateful for the opportunity. Now, right now, Matthews is in the pre-nursing program at the Warren County Career Center. So her work helping others is far from over. And I think Matthews' continued dedication to advocating and helping others makes her an easy choice for a hometown hero.
And if you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone, scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video. And speaking of heroes, a new exhibit in New York City is giving you a chance. You're so weird. To see hundreds of letters people have written to Spider-Man over the years. She must have forgot her mirror for the makeup she just put on.
I have my double espresso today.
Oh, God, get her out of here. The City Reliquary Museum in Brooklyn just opened the Dear Spider-Man Letters from Peter Parker exhibit. It features letters. You're going to drive me nuts. Real-life Peter Parker family. That family actually lived at the same address as Peter Parker in the Spider-Man comics. The comic book writers deny any connection, but the museum's owner thinks they likely want to keep the story authentic and maybe picked a name and address out of a phone book.
I knew Suzanne Parker, and I sold the house from Suzanne Parker to the current owner. As soon as the comic book, identified 20 Ingram as the Spider-Man house, then everything came flooded. It does not add any value, but it is a lot of fun.
The address has become synonymous with Spider-Man. That over the years, that Parker family has even received credit card offers addressed to Peter Parker. That's kind of crazy.
It's kind of cool.
You are not allowed to have any more.
Leave.
Of this.
Put the latte down, Nathaniel.
All I'm saying
Nathaniel.
is this is whatever you have in here.
It is crack.
Did you do more than 2 shots
No,
this morning?
just 2. But I already had 2 other cups
By
of
the
coffee
way,
this morning.
if you want to
that'll
see
do
something
it.
fun, Elise drinks out of a Skyline chili mug.
It was free.
Yeah.
It was free, and it does me solid. So I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, you're something special. Back to Spider-Man.
Oh, great. The next hour is going to be even better.
It's only 5:18, Nick.
It's going to
We're
get.
already talking about 4-letter words, and
I'm going to go get like one of those army helmets and just protect myself, like make a bunker back there in the weather area.
man, that's probably a
I
wise
was
life
going
choice.
to say, that probably is a wise choice. You should do that. You
Yeah.
should go do that now.
She told you, bro. Get out of here. Our time right now is 5:19. Still to come, Americans continuing to use their credit cards more than ever. What steps you could take to get out of debt?
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
You know, after seeing this photo yesterday, I decided to run it back. It is Maisie and Maya. Pam sent this in, and I always like photos like this where you get a 3-for-1. Deer, 2 dogs. Unfortunately, today, not a great day to let the dogs outside, mainly because we've got temperatures low 40s, and with whatever rain we did get, which probably wasn't that much measurable rain, but it has certainly made things quite wet. It may take all day for us to begin to dry things out, which means muddy paws, and already I'm regretting letting Valkyrie in this morning without washing her paws, because I think I have a trail leading from my door into the bed. Meanwhile, we're going to see better chances of wet weather from about 12 to 2 p.m. That's where we could actually get some wet snowflakes across the area, but I don't think it's going to be the type of snow that measures up, and it's not going to be the type of rain that causes major wide area hassles. Instead, it's just this dampness, the nuisance, and we're certainly seeing that this morning on some of our cams where just about every single one right now on traffic is, again, quite wet. So this may be a morning. Give yourself a couple of extra minutes. You know, it is Friday. You don't have to rush everywhere. We'll get to the weekend one way or the other. It is worth pointing out we do have one incident, I-70 East Arlington Road. That's exit 21 as you head west into Indiana. The left lane is blocked in that direction.
Eli Lilly's drug failed to prevent Alzheimer's in a study. The drug was no better than a placebo at averting the condition. The failure was expected by some in the Alzheimer's field after the drug failed in previous studies. Well, another study finds Mediterranean and MIND diets reduce signs of Alzheimer's in brain tissue. The MIND diet is short for Mediterranean-Diet Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. And in fact, people who most closely followed either of those diets had about 40% lower odds of having enough plaque and tangles in brain tissue to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Well, the top strategies to beat snoring include using extra pillows, drinking water before bed, and putting a tennis ball in your pajamas to stop you from lying on your back. A study of 2,000 adults found 52% either snore or have a partner who does. This survey was commissioned by MuteSnoring.com and executed in partnership with WebMD and OnePoll as part of the new 2023 annual Sleep and Snore report. They also found 53% of those who snore or live with a snore would do anything to stop it. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Credit card debt is surging in the U.S. According to the latest quarterly report from TransUnion, credit card debt hit a record $930 billion at the end of last year. If you're working on bringing down your debt, there are some steps you can take. Experts recommend tracking your balances and creating a budget that makes paying off credit cards a priority. NerdWallet suggests another option is to take out a fixed-rate debt consolidation loan to pay off your debt. Now, they note that interest rates for personal loans tend to be lower than for credit cards.
Our time right now is 5:25. Still to come.
In today's Tech Bites, longer videos coming to TikTok. The new series feature allows eligible creators to post videos up to 20 minutes long. They can also decide how much to charge viewers to see their work. TikTok plans to allow more creators access in the coming months. Next, ChatGPT is coming to the workplace messaging platform Slack. The company announced a new AI-powered app that can summarize meetings and write messages to colleagues in seconds. It takes one click to draft a reply. The Slack chatbot can also help find answers about any topic or project. And the NFL will have a holiday gift for its fans. Next season's Black Friday game, set to be streamed on Amazon Prime, will be free even for non-subscribers. The matchup hasn't been set yet. Amazon says it wants to give everyone a free sample of Prime benefits. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Oh, Ms. Flores, what would we do without you? Leader of many and pet wrangler too. You report to your boss every afternoon.
So beautiful.
So becoming a student again might seem impossible. What if a school could be there for all of you? Career, family, finances, and mental health.
Oh, no.
Well, it can. National University, supporting the whole you.
Dry skin is sensitive skin too, and it's natural. Treat it that way. Aveeno Daily Moisture with prebiotic oat is proven to moisturize dry skin all day. You'll love our formula for face too. Aveeno.
Think Mom's mad about her favorite shoes? Nope, because Bank of America lets her switch her Choice Cashback category to online shopping, so she earns more on a replacement pair.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. NASA is keeping an eye on a newly discovered asteroid the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Wow.
It has a chance to collide with Earth in 23 years.
I guess we got 23 years to say our goodbyes.
And, send Ben Affleck to space or something.
Well, fans of the famed frozen pineapple dessert Dole Whip will no longer require a ticket to their nearest Disney park to get a taste of the frozen sweet treat. Dole Packaged Foods officially unveiled its first at-home version of the iconic Dole Whip. Also, you could get the Dole Whip at Jet Freeze, by the way, Beaver Creek. Yep, I just plugged them. They had the pineapple, by the way.
I'm ready for soft serve season.
Oh, they're open.
I know.
They're officially open.
It's got to get a little warmer.
I know. I know.
You can't have
I feel
snow in
you.
the forecast.
I know. I feel.
I hope people
feel
do
you.
go out there. New York City officials releasing their most memorable non-emergency calls. Questions like, "Can you tell me the steps to boil a live chicken?"
I didn't know you boil chicken live for first.
That pork chicken. And I'd like to file a noise complaint against my refrigerator.
Also, they wanted to know, can you check to see if my boyfriend is married?
And they might want to turn that into a mental illness hotline.
I do want them to, this should be funny tweets. You know how they have Heard in the Newsroom tweets? They should have that for this.
It should turn into automatic welfare check.
That too. All right, well, we are starting off this morning with a live look over a very wet Gem City. I think this is in the Beaver Creek area, actually, this morning. So temperatures are continuing to drop, and we are bracing for the S word.
Oh.
I'm not saying it out loud.
Oh, snow. Let's check in with meteorologist Nick Maruziak with
Snow
more.
way!
Snow way! Snow!
Yeah, it's not going to be a snow day, though, unfortunately, for all those kids out there. Not to get your hopes up. Instead, what we're looking at is more flakes in the air. You know, it's been a while since we've said there could actually be snow in the forecast. Frankly, it has been very much so more rain than snow ever since the calendar turned to 2023. But here's what we're getting. We do have that rain-snow line, probably even a lot more north as of right now, and the heavy snow actually into southern parts of Michigan. What will happen is eventually this will spin down and we'll get a chance of maybe just an isolated snow shower or maybe a broken line of snow somewhere around, I would say, 10, 11 in the morning through the early stages of the afternoon. Either way, temperature is going to be low 40s, which that's one of the reasons why we think it's going to be that rain-snow mixture as opposed to just snow. It is going to be a little bit too warm for us to see all the snow. And frankly, based on the upper atmosphere, it may be just a touch warm for us to see anything more than just some giant wet snowflakes that almost melt instantaneously the second they either hit the ground or your face. As for this morning, it is a morning where the roads are already wet from the rain that moved in overnight. We will see things start to shape up a little bit nicer during the mid-morning, but again, it is going to be wet out there all the way through the morning commute.
Now we have an update this morning on a story we first brought you last night. An endangered missing adult alert is now canceled. Kettering police say they found this man, Terrence Dragon, just before 1 o'clock this morning. They say the 75-year-old is now safe.
I'm terribly sorry for the impact this derailment has had on the folks of that community.
We now want to give you a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, where Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw apologized to people living in East Palestine. He testified in front of a Senate committee yesterday, outlining the company is doing in the wake of last month's train derailment. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown and J.D. Vance also spoke at that hearing, the two demanding rail companies step up to make sure something like this does not happen again.
These communities have been abandoned too many times before. My job, our job, is to hear their voice and to demand corporate accountability to bring this town back to the vibrant community we know that it can be again.
It is ridiculous that firefighters and local officials don't know that hazardous chemicals are in their community, coming through their community. In East Palestine, you had a community of largely volunteer firefighters responding to a terrible crisis, toxic burning chemicals without knowing what was on them.
Senators Brown and Vance introducing the Railway Safety Act. The new bill increases regulations on the rail industry, including new safety procedures for trains carrying hazardous materials. Advance notice from railways about the contents on board, two-person crews on every train, and boosting fines for rail carriers for wrongdoing.
And this morning, we're hearing from former Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder just moments after a jury convicted him in a public corruption trial. Prosecutors say Householder and lobbyist Matt Borges were part of a scheme to funnel nearly $61 million in dark money from an energy company to elect Householder Speaker. In turn, they allege Householder would then pass a publicly funded bailout of 2 nuclear power plants. As he left the courthouse, Householder maintained his innocence. He says he was surprised by the verdict.
I've always been committed to the people of Ohio, and I think that the justice system is what it is, and there's a process. This is one step to the process. And we're going to utilize every process we can in the judicial system until we get it right.
The jury convicted both men of racketeering conspiracy. That charge is usually associated with organized crime bosses. Now, both men plan to appeal the verdict and were allowed to remain out on bond. They face up to 20 years in prison.
Dayton 24/7 Now is putting mental health in the spotlight this month. Right now, lawmakers in Columbus are looking at ways to bring new resources to schools across the state. Dayton 24/7 Now's Clara Faith breaks down this new push.
House Bill 38 will allow school districts to offer 3 mental health days, whether it's in school or at home. It will also give school district resources like counseling and psychological services. Educators tell me this bill could be good for students struggling with mental health.
The mental health needs of students P12, even at higher ed, there's a big need for this now, like helping children self-regulate. Children, even in elementary schools, are dealing with anxiety and depression that's been diagnosed or even undiagnosed.
The student mental health bill is now being reviewed by State House. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Dayton 24/7 Now is partnering with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, known as NAMI, to launch Sinclair Cares mental health support and hope. It's a campaign to encourage mental health awareness with a focus on young adults. NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, and it's dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness through advocacy, education, support, and public awareness. And there's a lot of resources and support groups for you right here in the Miami Valley. You can also learn more and find more help and hope near you at sinclaircares.com or by scanning that QR code on your screen.
Our time right now is 5:37. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather's on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A new warning for parents this morning as a popular car seat is recalled, the potential safety risks, and what you need to know if you own one.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Here's what we're looking at for today. Temperatures upper 30s and low 40s during the morning. Certainly during the middle part of the day, there is going to be a chance of some light rain and light snow showers, but it may end up being a little bit lighter, or perhaps maybe some of us just don't see a whole lot of it. Either way, though, it is going to be a cool middle part of the day. Cool day overall, frankly, as these temperatures remain well below average. And it's not just for today. It's actually over the next several days we will see temperatures 5-10 degrees below average, and that's at the warm end. Some of the days actually could approach 15 degrees below average during the daytime. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, heavily tilted towards more clouds. We will get some more clouds overnight Saturday into Sunday. Ahead of our next system, that's where we're likely to see the chance of more rain, snow, perhaps even measurable snow is going to be possible. And this is going to be one of those time periods where, again, because we are looking at temperatures somewhere between upper 30s and low 40s, we are going to have some chance of snow across the area. But if we cool off, let's say 2-3 degrees at the absolute most, that's where we actually start talking about, okay, ½ inch to an inch of snow.
Our time right now is 5:41. Still to come, the Dayton Flyers coming off 3 straight wins. After the break, Matt Digby shares the team's journey to the semifinals.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. 3 wins and you're dancing. It's that straightforward for Dayton men's basketball as the Flyers chase that automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. They had a bye from the first 2 rounds at the Atlantic 10 tournament, opening play Thursday against St. Joseph's. One team playing their 3rd game in as many days, the other playing for the first time in almost a week, and that showed at times both the good and the not so good. Flyers building a lead by as much as 13, but then St. Joseph's would rally to make the final minutes interesting. However, UD hangs on to win 60-54. They have today off before tomorrow's semifinal against Fordham. The Flyers did beat the Rams by 24 back in January. The other semifinal Saturday will be VCU and St. Louis, so all top 4 seeds holding serve in the quarterfinals. Big Ten tournament yesterday, Ohio State facing Iowa after their first round win over Wisconsin, and the Buckeyes advancing to the quarterfinals after holding off the Hawkeyes 73-69. 4 players in double figures, led by 17 points from Bruce Thornton. Ohio State will take on Michigan State later today, just 3 wins away from the Big Ten tournament championship and that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. That'll do it for sports. I'm Matt Digby.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at for today. Temperatures will eventually get into the 40s. However, it is going to be a period of wet weather, including potential for some wet snow. I don't think this is the type of snow that we need to be worried about accumulations on roadways or things of that nature. If you're driving up towards northwestern parts of Ohio, okay, maybe. But frankly, I think in and around the Dayton area, and especially points south, there's just no chance of that. Meanwhile, on Sunday, there is a chance. It is trending a little bit drier for us, but the main theme seems to be that it is in a realm of possibilities if we drop a few degrees from some of the forecasts that, yes, we could be looking at measurable snow. Now, when I talk about measurable snow, I mean anything from, let's say, a ½ inch to inch to 3 inches. More towards that 1 inch at the most style system. It's not going to be that prolific. Monday, still going to have the chance of some flurries or snow in the picture, as well as maybe into Tuesday. But even still, you put all these together, it just doesn't scream like it's a huge ticket snow system that we're going to deal with inches and inches of snow. Today, we flatline. Temperatures somewhere in the low 40s. Again, showers are possible. Rain, snow, some sort of a wintry mix, maybe even a little bit of what I would call grapple. Based on the fact that temperatures are going to be in the 40s, though, it may be more rain than snow, especially south of the Dayton area. Tomorrow, 42 degrees, should be just generally cloudy and cool, but dry. We'll be looking at colder weather Tuesday in particular. Just doing the math, by that time, the average high probably will get to around 50. It may end up being some close to 15 degrees below average during the daytime, and at night, 6 degrees. Not record-breaking, mind you, but still plenty cool for this time of year. As for this morning, if you're traveling, the roads are wet from the rain overnight. Haven't seen any snow or rain in the last little bit, so they may be getting a little bit drier, but I think the dampness will stick around throughout much of the morning commute.
We have a couple recall alerts to tell you about. Yeti's recalling 1.9 million coolers and gear cases. They say it's because of a magnet hazard. According to federal regulators, magnets on the closures of the products can detach. The agency warns if too high-powered magnets are swallowed, they can get lodged in the digestive system and cause serious problems. The recall includes the Sidekick dry gear case, M20 soft backpack cooler, the M30 soft cooler, version 1.0 and 2.0. If you have these products, stop using them immediately and reach out to Yeti for a refund. For more information on the recall, we have a link with all the details posted at Dayton247now.com.
There's another important recall this morning for a popular brand of car seats. This one right here, Darke Juvenile Group, is now recalling more than 59,000 Safety First and Maxi Kosei car seats. The company says the anchors used to secure the base could fail, and that would allow the seat to detach from the car. Darke says it'll mail a replacement to owners for free. They're mailing letters to people who may own the car seats. You can also visit Darke's website to look at the exact models that are now being recalled.
Our time right now is 5:49. A promposal racking up the views on social media. How one high school athlete asked out his date in front of a big crowd.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
In this morning's GMA First Look, saved by an NFL hero.
It was the right place at the right time.
Minnesota Vikings receiver KJ Osborne making the play of his life.
Touchdown,
KJ Osborne! Saving a life on a Texas highway.
Look off to my right, and there's a car that has crashed, and it's on fire, and it's under a bridge. It hit a pillar, and the airbags were out.
Osborne was in an Uber when they came upon a fiery wreck under a bridge in Austin. The 25-year-old, who's played 3 NFL seasons, running out of the car with his driver, finding a man trapped inside his burning car.
This car could explode. It's a man's life. his car is burning. I want to go up and help.
And this morning, KJ Osborne is telling his story to GMA.
God is real. And, I'm just happy, we were able to save this man's life.
And we'll have much more on this heroic rescue coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
There's a different way to treat HIV. It's every other month injectable Cabenuva. For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete long-acting HIV treatment you can get every other month.
Cabenuva helps keep me undetectable. It's 2 injections given by my healthcare provider every other month.
It's one less thing to think about while traveling.
HIV pills aren't on my mind. A quick change in my plans is no big deal.
Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or if you're taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments.
Every other month, and I'm good to go.
Ask your doctor about every
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Welcome to the weather patio, where this morning we've got a little bit of mist here in Miamisburg. It's not enough mist that we're talking about hazardous or dangerous walking conditions, but it definitely makes things just a little bit more not nice outside. I wish there was a stronger way to put it, but I don't want to overplay it at the same point. This morning, it's definitely jacket weather. I've got my gloves on because, frankly, I've become a wuss when it comes to cold weather after, the last few months of relatively mild temperatures. But this morning is definitely one where it definitely feels more winterish. We will see chances of rain and snow later on today, and based on temperatures, somewhere upper 30s and low 40s. It's probably going to be a mix of rain and snow, although more rain than snow. Sunday, it's also going to be that mix of rain and snow, or at least potentially. But if we do start to get some cooler temperatures, in theory, some of that could actually turn into measurable snowfall before a switchover. Something we'll watch closely here over the next few days.
If you're a fan of Scottish music, today is the day for you. It is International Bagpipe Day. It's a celebration of the unique instrument and a chance to explore its diversity and history. While most people associate bagpipes with kilted Scotsmen, the instrument is played all over the world. The earliest bagpipes likely date back to ancient Rome and even Egypt. They're a wind instrument made from reed pipes. You can hear them at parades and Irish pubs for St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up, by the way.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to bust out my kilt. Nobody wants to see that? I don't know. I have great calves. Anyways, a classic car is selling for big bucks at auction. This 1962 Ferrari sold for $18 million. That's a record for the car, sold at the Amelia Island car auction. It's among only 37 of its kind with covered headlights. It was built for the 1962 New York International Auto Show. The deep turquoise car still has its original body, driveline, and chassis.
And a high school hockey player used one moment in the spotlight to come up with a creative promposal. I love these, by the way. The lineup announcement ahead of games is an opportunity for players to wave to their friends and family, but check it out. The blade of this player's stick reads, "Hey Sarah, prom?" Well, of course, Sarah said yes. While the team lost, she says she still feels like she picked up a win.
It made me happy that he was so bold with it and just went for it.
I didn't really want to say it because obviously she's at the game, so she can't hear it over the Jumbotron, so it kind of had to be spelled out or else she wouldn't have known what I said.
I love when these go viral. I think it is so cute when guys do this. But being asked to prom wasn't the only surprise. The promposal ended up going viral by the time they went back to the locker room. And when I was in school, this was not a thing. My promposal was like my boyfriend, like, all right, so when are we going to go find matching stuff? And that was it. I didn't get any special, no roses, no little gesture to go viral. Just, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, the viral thing, I would not like the pressure of that, but...
No, really? You wouldn't do that?
I don't know.
I feel like you're lying to me. I feel like you're lying to me a little bit.
Maybe I'd have a different perspective then than I would now.
Yeah,
now that I'm
I can see
married
that.
and already been through that, that sounds exhausting.
I mean, but it is cute. How cute is that? And you'll always remember.
Let's ask the single guy. Not taking anybody to prom anytime soon. But,
No, I was
about to be like, I'm not trying to be creepy, but let's.
Let's see what Nick's perspective on this is. Can't be that bad. I actually had to be asked to my senior prom by someone else. I will say I like that. I love the hockey introductions because you get to see the creativity of the players. That one, writing on a stick, well done.
Yeah,
well done.
Boy's got some swag. Good stuff.
He does have some swag, more than you guys. Whoa!
You're just talking facts.
I mean, she's not wrong. We got a lot more coming up on 6 a.m.
It's just a few hours, an opportunity for felons in need of a job. Coming up next, I'm going to explain positions available and how you can talk to employers.
Our time right now, 5:58. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social. Buckingham Palace updated its website. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2 kids are now listed as Prince and Princess.
It's awesome.
Good for the kids, but the titles are meaningless in the U.S.
Doesn't
where they
matter.
now live.
What does I would love the title of princess.
Okay.
It could be meaningless. All you want it to be.
I think it's cool, like if you're like a little girl, but like as a grown adult being called princess.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing, Princess Elise.
Exactly. That's why we call you Princess Nate. All right, well, the National Aquarium returned 25 juvenile sea turtles to the ocean. Here's a look at them off the coast of St. Augustine, Florida. How cute are they? The smallest turtle weighed just a little more than 2 pounds.
2 pounds?
Right? So cute.
That's really sweet.
It is sweet.
Hey, good for them. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins wants to know how to set up a jellyfish tank.
I don't understand the story.
He's asking the internet for advice after already
First
buying
off,
a jellyfish.
why are we asking the internet? The internets.
Like you bought it at I don't know where he bought it. Did he buy it at a pet store?
I haven't know, or did he just pull it out of the ocean and was like, you're coming home with me?
Is this like a black market type of thing we don't know about?
I probably just pulled it out of the ocean. Let's be honest.
What ocean and how did you get it here?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Pulled it out of the Ohio River. That ain't a jellyfish, son.
You never know. I'm just saying. Well, we are starting the morning off with a live look this morning over the Beaver Creek area. You can see the roadways are wet as you head out. Temperatures dropping, and we're bracing for some potential snow.
Hate to hear it. Let's check in with meteorologist Nick Maruziak. He joins us now with more on what we can expect. Nick?
Yeah, it's the type of snow that I don't think is the type that measures up, but it is certainly noteworthy because we haven't had a whole lot of snow this season outside of a couple of main event type systems. This is going to be more just a very nuisance system. You can see the snow line right now to our north. Heavy snow in parts of southern Michigan. It right now isn't that bad unless you're right about over the northwestern part of Ohio, and I do mean the far northwestern. This is a day where we will see that clouds and also the snow, perhaps somewhere around, I'd say 11, 10 in the morning, it could start. But really, this is going to be more just a scattered snow shower as opposed to a widespread chunk of wet weather. Later on in the forecast, we'll actually get better chances of measurable snow. Still in the realm of possibilities that we actually talk about half-inch. But at the same token, it may completely bust out and we either get rain or, frankly, don't get a whole lot of wet weather. That we'll talk about in detail coming up here shortly. In the meantime, let's talk about the morning commute where it is quite wet outside. We're not dealing with, torrential rainfall or anything else, but the roads are wet, so give yourself some extra time.
Well, in just a matter of hours from now, Goodwill Easter Seals will be hosting a second chance hiring event.
This gives those with a criminal history an opportunity to find work in the community. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with more on the jobs available. Alex.
Well, Nathan and Elise, several companies will be here at Goodwill Easter Seals looking to hire in different positions. For example, Primetime Party Rental is looking to hire delivery crew and warehouse associates. Economy Linen and Towel Service Incorporated has availability in production and janitorial services. And Surge Staffing is in need of car parts assemblers. So there's lots for everyone. Goodwill Easter Seals Community Outreach Program helps adults who are looking for employment or looking to improve the kind of job they currently have. Community Employment Manager Candy Mullins tells me a specialist works with people one-on-one to make sure they have everything they need to find a good fit. And then the specialists go out and contact secondhand employers about what kind of job openings they have.
We kind of become the experts about the community and what's available. My employers are what we would call a second chance employer that would hire somebody who has an infraction in their background. They believe in giving second chances, and many times those employers, those main hiring managers, are also somebody who's got a history themselves. So they're looking to help somebody else get that opportunity to be able to be a productive individual in the community and better their financial situation.
Last year, the organization ended up placing over 500 people through their employment programs. She tells me they've seen over 100 intakes so far this year, and 50 of those people have already found a job. Now, we'll have everything you need to know about this second chance hiring event underneath the local section of our website, Dayton247now.com. Stay with us because we're going to hear more about just why this is so important for these felons looking for jobs. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, we're learning what could have caused a train to derail in Springfield. Norfolk Southern says crews discovered loose wheel during the cleanup, and the company says that could cause a derailment. Norfolk Southern says it's removed rail cars from service at, quote, unusual wheel movement.
And this morning, we want to give you a live look from the U.S. Capitol building at this hour, where Norfolk Southern CEO was in the hot seat answering questions following last month's derailment in East Palestine. Now, during his testimony, Alan Shaw apologized to people living in East Palestine, saying the safety features in place weren't enough. Now, lawmakers say they want him and the company to do more.
Will you, again, compensate these families for their diminished, lost property value for homes and small businesses?
Senator, we've already committed $21 million, and that's a down payment.
That is a down payment. Will you commit to these innocent families do not lose their life savings in their homes and small businesses? The right thing to do is to say, yes, we will.
Senator, I'm committed to doing what's right for the community, and we're going to be there as
No,
long as it takes.
what's right for the community will then be balanced.
Ohio Senators Sherrod Brown and J.D. Vance also testified. Now they're continuing to push for the Railway Safety Act. We'll hear from them in just a matter of minutes.
Back here in Ohio, we're hearing from people living in East Palestine. One person who lives in the impacted area says so far the company has been vague in its guarantees.
There is no commitment from him on his end. At this point, it's just words. I don't believe words, I believe actions. And until we see some actions, I'm not going to trust anything that he said or didn't say.
Jimmy Koza accuses CEO Alan Shaw of dodging questions from senators. Lawmakers pressed him for concrete answers to many yes or no questions. He avoids specific promises and often answered in generalities.
And this morning, we're hearing from a man who lives next door to one of the several homes that caught fire in Dayton earlier this week. So far, police haven't released the names of the 5 people killed. Dayton 24/7 Now's Gwyneth Falloon brings us up to speed as crews continue their investigation.
At this time, the investigation is still active and ongoing. We know 5 bodies were recovered. Their names or anything about them have yet to be released. According to a press release, crews responded to the home on North Broadway Street just before 4 Wednesday morning and remained on scene for nearly 18 hours. The cause of the fire still unknown. I spoke with Roger Blackburn, who lives next door in the home that also caught fire, and he tells me he's seen between 10 and 13 people coming in and out of the house. He says he and other neighbors have contacted the police department. You're the neighbor here. Did you see people coming and going from this house?
Yeah, it was about 12 or 13 people living in there.
Now, this is a developing story and an active investigation, so as information becomes available, we'll bring you up to date both here on air and online. Reporting in downtown Dayton, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
Our time right now is 6:08. Don't forget and get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather, of course, on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Taking a live look from Capitol Hill, where one local teen is heading to represent Ohio. Adam Arrow explains how their advocacy makes her a hometown hero.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
It's kind of hard to believe that it's already time for daylight saving. Spring forward?
Yeah.
Does
I
that
know.
mean we'd lose sleep this weekend?
We do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate
it
that.
does.
All of a sudden, your demeanor just changed.
Wait a
when
minute.
you
I was
realized-
like, I kind of love the idea of more sunlight, but then I realized less sleep over the weekend, and children never handle that well.
No, they're up at what? No matter what, it's like that 1 hour past sunrise, so it's 6 or 7 a.m. depending on it.
It's not
I don't
as
know.
bad as
I don't
fall
have
back,
kids.
right?
Fall back is great.
I mean, for the kids.
They sleep longer with the fall back.
Is that what it is?
Or no? Oh, no. That is right. Yeah. So it's later. Okay.
But that
I
means they
see.
stay up later because it's light outside.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
That's
either
fine.
way, spring forward, we're losing an hour of sleep. Not good for this guy. I give it a big thumbs down. I'd rather,
We'll get over it.
I don't have kids. I don't have to worry about
Yeah, I was going to say,
their
you probably
timelines.
you can sleep until 11 on the weekend. Doesn't matter.
More like 9. My dog starts to get antsy at that point. Let's go over to the weather wall where this morning we're waking up to some cloudy skies across the area. Right for now, it's probably more of a mist than anything else if we're seeing any type of wet weather. We still have a couple of showers. Nothing particularly that heavy. The heaviest is actually well to our north, southern parts of Michigan in down towards Fort Wayne. Another sprawling low across the west coast. That will eventually affect us later on in this forecast. Today, low 40s, maybe some upper 30s. This is going to be a day where we are going to be talking about cool temperatures. The potential is there for more wet weather, including a rain-snow mixture. Tonight, 25, 42 for tomorrow. It will be generally cloudy and cool. I think beyond tomorrow, we will get that rain-snow mixture on Sunday. It is the type of day where a few degrees could be the difference between all rain and all snow. Just based on the timing, if it does come in more overnight Saturday Sunday with temperatures falling to around 30, there could be enough snow that we start measuring up before it transitions to rain. So something we are watching closely. Meanwhile, we're also watching traffic. Right for now, it does look like the interstates are moving okay, although we do have an accident right now reported I-75 North, Main Street, and 54A. So if that's part of your morning commute, you may want to give yourself some extra time, although based on a cam in that area, it doesn't seem like it's moving things very much slowly.
Our time right now is 6:13. The CEO offering an apology after last month's train derailment East Palestine. Why lawmakers are now saying that's not enough.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at this morning. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s. It's interesting because Wapakoneta is at 34 degrees. If we were to see any type of wet weather, that's where you would look and go, at least in theory, you'd have a better chance of snow. It's also the upper atmosphere that counts for a lot during the morning hours, or really all day, in terms of, is it rain, is it snow, is it graupel? Either way, the morning is significantly warmer than this time 24 hours ago. Even the wind chills are warmer, but with the wet weather, with everything else going on, it's just a morning where you want to give yourself a few extra moments to get to wherever you get to. For today, the best period for us to see any type of rain or wet snow would be around noontime. Tomorrow, just some cloudy skies. Beginning on Sunday, the next system arrives. And this one has caught our attention because it does have slightly better potential for maybe measurable snow. A lot depends on temperature, but also a lot depends on how much moisture it actually brings to the area. There is a chance that this starts to peter out as it moves into the Miami Valley. If it does do that, it's more likely that we get flurries or perhaps no snow at all. Meanwhile, Monday to Tuesday are going to be your cold days, and because we're going to get this wraparound snow effect, I wouldn't rule out maybe some very light snow either one of those days. So this is a period where it is going to stay active. It's also going to stay cool with temperatures at best 5 degrees below average during the daytime. As for the roads this morning, it is a quiet morning commute thus far. We have seen one incident on I-75 North, that at Main Street exit 54A, but looking at that cam, doesn't look like things are slowing down too much. So if that is part of your morning commute, you may want to give yourself an extra little bit of time in that direction.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, a popular taco food truck is moving to a brick-and-mortar location. Springfield-based Dip Tacos will start the move to Mitchell Boulevard next month and is expected to be open for business by June. Dip Tacos is known for its tacos, quesadillas, burritos, nachos, loaded fries, and fresh lemonade, but the menu could be expanded with this new brick-and-mortar store. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the news tab, and select Dayton Business Journal. A local teen fighting for change and giving others a voice.
As Adam Arrow explains, it's why she's a hometown hero.
This is 17-year-old Alexa Matthews. She was diagnosed with juvenile myoclonic epilepsy when she was 10. And since then, she's made it a mission to advocate for others and in the process, break the stigma around it. And recently, the Ohio Epilepsy Foundation chose her to go to Washington, D.C. to represent the state on this issue. So Matthews met with state and national lawmakers sharing her story and advocating to help increase CDC epilepsy funding by $1.5 million. She called it an incredible and unforgettable experience and is so grateful for the opportunity. Now, right now, Matthews is in the pre-nursing program at the Warren County Career Center. So her work helping others is far from over. And I think Matthews' continued dedication to advocating and helping others makes her an easy choice for a hometown hero.
All right, if you know someone that's a hometown hero, we want to hear about it. Let us know. Scan the QR code right there on your screen.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We see a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or videos. And speaking of heroes, a new exhibit in New York City has given you a chance to see hundreds of letters people have written to Spider-Man over the years. The City Reliquary Museum in Brooklyn just opened the Dear Spider-Man Letters to Peter Parker exhibit. It features letters people wrote to a real-life Peter Parker, and the family actually lived at the same address as Peter Parker in the Spider-Man comics. Now, the comic book writers deny any connection, but the museum's owner thinks they likely wanted to keep the story authentic and maybe picked a name and address out of the phone book. That's kind of crazy that, you know, the same house had a real Parker family.
That's kind of cool, though. I always love that type of tie-in, though.
Like the weirdness and the randomness of them actually living in the same house. Like, that would be really cool. I was trying to think of what other houses are like famous in movies and what would people write. Like, I wonder if there's like, is there an address for like Scream? Or
I have no idea, actually. But in Cleveland, they have the Christmas Story house, and then like the Home Alone house. And
I low-key want to see the Home Alone house.
I kind of want to. I just want to like go in and like see what it actually. It's amazing to me because some of the stuff I'm sure was shot like in studio, while some of it was in the house. It's kind of cool.
So here's a fun fact: all the outdoor scenes are at that house, but the indoor scenes they built inside of a high school gym. They built a whole recreation of the house inside a high school gym to make
so cool. I would. You know what I would love to visit is from Netflix, Stranger Things. Like.
So you want to go to the Upside Down?
No, not that. I want to go to like the school, and I just think it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You and the Demogorgon might get along.
I am the Demogorgon. How do you
I don't
not,
know
how do
any
you
of
not
these
know?
things.
I didn't want to say that directly.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes,
yeah, I did.
you did.
I just led you to say
yes,
yourself.
you did.
All right, time right now.
You just held my hand and led me there, Nathan. I'm not dumb.
6:23. Digital producer Max waiting in the wings. He has some trivia for us in a couple of minutes.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Time for Pet of the Day, and we've got Maisie and Maya joining us. Pam sent them in, and the dear friend out in the distance. I will say today, not a great day to let the dog outside because we are still dealing with the residual moisture from yesterday's rain, and we still have at least a chance of a couple of areas of showers. No temperatures, low 40s. If we do dip in the upper 30s, snow would become, in theory, more possible. A lot of it deals with the upper atmosphere, to be fair, but in general, the colder you get, the better chances of snow. Either way, I'd expect to see rain, snow mixed well. So if you are going to be walking about today, be prepared for some big flakes. Be prepared for some more wet weather. But also, it is going to be cool outside. We're only talking low 40s today, some 10 degrees below the average high for this time of year.
March presents some interesting trivia opportunities, so Max is here this morning.
Interesting trivia. A.
So let's bring the heat, bro.
What do we got?
Today is March 10th, which is also known as Mario Day.
It's a me, Mario.
Exactly.
It's pretty good.
I know.
Okay, not bad.
I am Italian. Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you guys some fun facts, some trivia about Mario.
I see you don't have you don't even have your phone with you. You just have this memorized.
These,
okay, we're ready.
Okay.
So, do you know Mario's original name? At least, wait, this is. Come on.
You can't cheat. No cheating. Elise just guessed. Do you know that? I don't know it, so.
Anthony. There's a lot of Anthonys, Italian Anthonys.
Manuel.
Let's go with Steve.
Tony.
Okay, it was Jumpman because in the original game you just jumped. But here's the thing. Do you know how they came up with the name Mario?
How?
Well, in the 1981, Nintendo was renting a big warehouse in Washington, and they were all in this room discussing a good name for him. And the owner of the warehouse came in and started asking them about late rent. And that man's name was Mario.
Oh, interesting.
How funny.
I always wondered how like a Japanese video game came up with an Italian plumber named Mario to be the lead.
And where did they come with Luigi? Do you know this?
Not quite sure.
You didn't Google that?
I'll come back with that.
Okay.
What about Yoshi?
I imagine the Green Dragon thing wasn't really inspired by real life, although what do I know?
I mean, the game is wild.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the best, all-time favorite games.
Yeah.
I'd still pick up a Game Boy just to play that. Just to be sitting somewhere and just,
Good stuff, Max. Well, you'll be back with some more Mario trivia.
Find out where Luigi came from.
The Luigi origin story is important to Elise.
Yes, it's very important.
It's not Luigi Day, but...
It's okay. He's still part of it, though.
True. It's not Luigi.
He's still part of it, though.
He's like the redheaded stepbrother.
Oh, my God. You're so mean. 6:29 is our time right now. Still to come.
Goodwill Easter Seals is hosting a second chance hiring event this morning for those with a criminal history. We're going to talk about why this is so important coming up next.
But first, here's Genevieve Gorder with America's Steals and Deals.
Following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, what are two things you lose the most? It's your keys and it's your phone. And it's so frustrating. I know this because I spend hours every day looking for these items. So listen up. You don't want to miss this buy one, get one exclusive deal on the Key Smart Pro. Now, the Key Smart Pro organizes up to 14 keys in one little device. Literally every guy on the set has one in his pocket right now. And as we were setting up this display, people were actually trying to take them. So my advice is buy this now for everyone you love because they're not going to last. It takes all those keys in the drawer, the bottom of your purse, and puts them right into one little thing, and it connects to a free app. So if you lose your keys, you press the button on the app. You lose your phone, you press the button on the keychain. Even if your phone is on silent, you can find it. It's a win-win. They find each other, guys. You know how many hours this saves us? For me, like probably 6 hours a day. I bet you have someone in your life that needs one of these. My family literally impersonates me by putting on a pair of sunglasses and saying, "Where's my phone? Where's my keys?" And now with this buy one, get one free deal, it's the perfect time to get one for you, someone you love, in all of these great colors. Remember, this is a buy one, get one free. Do not wait. Go to asadeals.com.
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. NASA keeping an eye on a newly discovered asteroid the size of an Olympic swimming pool. It has a chance to collide with Earth in 23 years.
We'll see what happens. Are we going to send Ben?
I don't know.
We never know. Wasn't Bruce in that one too?
Yeah, Bruce is in rough shape these days, so I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Way to go, Elise.
I'm sorry, actually. I do love me some Bruce Willis.
I do too.
All right, well, fans of the famed frozen pineapple dessert Dole Whip will no longer require a ticket to the nearest Disney park. Dole Packaged Foods officially unveiled its first at-home version of the iconic Dole Whip.
Look, I know you love like chocolate flavored things, but this is super refreshing.
I've heard it is. I just, yeah.
You got to have your chocolate.
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
New York City officials releasing their most memorable non-emergency calls. Questions like, can you tell me the steps to boil a live chicken?
Interesting.
And I'd like to file a noise complaint against my refrigerator.
Get a new one.
Yeah.
Is that what they tell them?
I don't know.
I would love to know the answers to these questions.
Boil a live chicken?
I didn't think you boiled chicken alive.
I'm guessing that they meant like a full chicken and they just were special.
Or like the chicken was alive and then like how do you unalive it maybe?
I don't know. We're getting a little deep here.
It's crazy.
A little
yeah, I don't know. All right, well, several employers looking to hire will be at Goodwill Easter Seals this morning to give felons a second chance.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King spoke with the community employment manager. She joins us live this morning with more on the importance of helping. Alex.
Yeah, you know what, Nathan? It's important to help people with a criminal history overcome the barriers to employment. And Candy Mullins tells me people like this often make great employees because they feel like they have to work hard to prove themselves every single day. She says they're always grateful to get jobs, especially when they're trying to support a family. Employees here at Goodwill Easter Seals teach anyone searching for employment how to talk about their background and skills. It's all about opening up more doors.
You're helping individuals get something, a basic need met, which is employment. Income is a basic need. We need income to pay rent, to buy groceries, and we need a certain level of income to be able to be self-sufficient. And so that's the things that we look for individuals, is getting them a job where they can actually be self-supporting and they're not having to utilize other community services anymore. They're able to do things without having to do that. So that's our goal, is to help them step up into a higher financial security.
Mullins says one of the biggest goals for their employment programs is retention. They check on employees and employers several times a month to make sure they're not having any issues. And if they are, they want to help. Now, you'll find everything you need to know about this second chance hiring event underneath the local section of our website, Dayton247now.com. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about the jobs that are available who are participating in this hiring event. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Good morning. It is a morning where some of us in the region are waking up to some heavy snow. Southern parts of Michigan, Detroit area, Traverse City. I mean, you look at Fort Wayne, all being hit by what is at least measurable snow. We are on the southern side of that, which means for us, well, at best, we're probably going to see some rain and snow mixture, and that could start as soon as 11, although it may end up being more clouds than showers for us throughout a lot of the morning hours. Temperatures should get into the 40s, or should I say stay in the 40s. We're really not going to drop that much during the daytime today, but we're also just never going to rise. Effectively, what you see is what you get all day today. It's cloudy, it's cool. We're going to have that chance of rain and snow during the afternoon. It's, well, could be better on a Friday, but at least the morning commute hasn't been that bad. We do have wet roads. We have had a couple of incidents or tie-ups here or there, but nothing on the board as of right now. You may want to just give yourself a few extra seconds because, again, the roads are wet this morning.
Right now, we have an update this morning on a story we first brought to you last night. This man right here was listed as an endangered missing adult, and that alert has now been canceled. Kettering police say officers found Terrence Dragon just before 1 o'clock this morning. They say the 75-year-old is now safe.
I'm terribly sorry for the impact this derailment has had on the folks of that community.
We now want to give you a live look over the U.S. Capitol this morning, where Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw apologized to people living in East Palestine. He testified in front of a Senate committee yesterday, outlining what the company is doing in the wake of the last month's train derailment. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown and J.D. Vance also spoke at that hearing. The two demanded rail companies step up to make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
These communities have been abandoned too many times before. My job, our job, is to hear their voice and to demand corporate accountability to bring this town back to the vibrant community we know that it can be again.
It is ridiculous that firefighters and local officials don't know that hazardous chemicals are in their community, coming through their community. In East Palestine, you had a community of largely volunteer firefighters responding to a terrible crisis, toxic burning chemicals without knowing what was on them.
Senators Brown and Vance introduced the Railway Safety Act. Now, the new bill increases regulations on the rail industry.
And this morning, we're hearing from former Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder just moments after a jury convicted him in a public corruption trial. Prosecutors say Householder and lobbyist Matt Borges were part of a scheme to funnel nearly $61 million in dark money from an energy company to elect Householder Speaker. In turn, they allege Householder would then pass a publicly funded bailout of 2 nuclear power plants. As he left the courthouse, Householder maintained his innocence. He says he was surprised by the verdict.
I've always been committed to the people of Ohio, and I think that the justice system is what it is, and there's a process. This is one step to the process. And we're going to utilize every process we can in the judicial system until we get it right.
The jury convicted both men of racketeering conspiracy. That charge is usually associated with organized crime bosses.
Dayton 24/7 Now is putting mental health in the spotlight this month. Right now, lawmakers in Columbus are looking at ways to bring new resources to schools across the state. Dayton 24/7 Now's Claire Faith breaks down this new push.
House Bill 38 will allow school districts to offer 3 mental health days, whether it's in school or at home. It will also give school district resources like counseling and psychological services. Educators tell me this bill could be good for students struggling with mental health.
The mental health needs of students, P12, even at higher ed, there's a big need for this now, like helping children self-regulate. Children, even in elementary schools, are dealing with anxiety and depression that's been diagnosed or even undiagnosed.
The student mental health bill is now being reviewed by State House. Reporting in Dayton, Claire Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
6:42 is our time right now. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long. You've been during commercials.
A new warning for parents this morning as a popular car seat has been recalled due to the potential safety risks. What you need to know if you own one.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Okay. Well, I'm all on, so. No, hey, you got me? I can't hear anything.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
California is expecting more snow and heavy rain as atmospheric rivers are set to move through the state this weekend. And rumor has it spring is on the way. While winter won't go gently into the night, snow and these blooms mingle in the Golden State. And this California couple decided on some pairings.
I'm having a little ice with my wine.
While staying warm.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
You know what's fun is to watch other parts of the country. There's one show that I like that follows a bunch of different cities across the country live, and it's always fun to watch the weather and see, oh, this place is getting cold, this place is hot and sunny, this place is doing that. And I just like it because it really gives you a perspective of what's going on and how varied things can be. And it's not just necessarily over the country, but also, let's be honest here, over the Miami Valley. A week ago, we had temperatures near 70. Now we're talking about chances of rain and, yes, snow across the area. Now, for this morning, it has been almost all rain or a mist. Temperatures are still around 40 degrees, so it's not exactly like we're setting records for banner cold. Instead, today is all about the fact that we are going to see those every once in a while showers moving through. And in fact, just right now, I'm looking at the lights and I can see just a very fine mist has begun to fall. So again, even though it's not necessarily really, really wet outside, we are still dealing with just a little bit of dampness and, yes, even a mist at this hour.
This morning, a popular brand of car seats, Darke Juvenile Group, is now recalling more than 59,000 Safety First and Maxi Cosi car seats. The company says the anchors used to secure the base could fail. That would allow the seat to detach from the car. Darke says it'll mail a replacement to owners for free.
Our time right now is 6:47. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. Across the northern part of our area and north of Lima, we're actually getting some snow in the southern part of Michigan, but for the vast majority of the Miami Valley, it is pretty, I would say, quiet considering. We do have some heavy snow in our Mountain West up in towards the Pacific Northwest. It's a day where if you are going to be traveling around, there could be a couple of showers, although if we do see anything, it could be everything from a light rain to a really wet snow. I don't see this being the type of snow that actually measures up on the ground, or even if it does, it melts within a couple of minutes. 25 for overnight, 42 for tomorrow. It remains cool, although dry. We won't say the same for Sunday. At least there's a better chance of us seeing some snow in the area. I don't think it's going to be 100% sure that we do see snow based on temperatures in the 40s. It could be another mix of rain and snow, but based on the timing, it would be a little bit more possible for us to actually see snow than rain. Either way, Monday and Tuesday will be significantly cooler than average.
If you're a fan of Scottish music, today is your day. It is International Bagpipe Day. It's a celebration of the unique instrument and a chance to explore its diversity and history. While most people associate bagpipes with kilted Scotsmen, the instrument is played all over the world. The earliest bagpipes likely date back all the way to ancient Rome and even Egypt. They're a wind instrument made from reed pipes. You can hear them at parades and, of course, Irish pubs for St. Paddy's Day, which is coming up next, a week from today?
Yeah, Friday next week, yeah.
So crazy.
People are going to rage downtown.
Oh, my God.
You know it.
You're
People
probably
love
right.
Dub Pub.
Well, I swear, down in Dayton, it is a big tradition here.
Yeah. A lot of Catholics like to go out and party. It's true.
It's very true.
Nick's giving a thumbs up.
Very true.
Our time right now is 6:52. Norfolk Southern releasing new details about the train derailment in Clark County. The discovery crews made while clearing out the derailed cars.
Nope. In just a matter of hours, Goodwill Easter Seals will be hosting a second chance hiring event.
This gives those with a criminal history an opportunity to find work in the community. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with more on the jobs available. Alex.
Well, several companies will be here trying to find workers for different positions. For example, Primetime Party Rental is looking to hire delivery crew and warehouse associates. Economy Linen and Towel Service Incorporated has availability in production and janitorial services. And Surge Staffing is in need of car parts assemblers. A Goodwill Easter Seals community outreach program helps adults who are looking for employment or looking to improve the kind of job that they currently have. Community Employment Manager Candy Mullins tells me a specialist works with people one-on-one to make sure they have everything they need to find a good fit. And then the specialists go out and contact second chance employers about what kind of job openings they have.
We kind of become the experts about the community and what's available. My employers are what we would call a second chance employer that would hire somebody who has an infraction in their background. They believe in giving second chances, and many times those employers, those main hiring managers, are also somebody who's got a history themselves. So they're looking to help somebody else get that opportunity to be able to be a productive individual in the community and better their financial situation.
Last year, the organization ended up placing over 500 people through their employment programs. She tells me they've seen over 100 intakes so far this year, and 50 of those people have already found a job. Now, we'll have everything you need to know about this second chance hiring event underneath the local section of our website, Dayton247now.com. Stay with us because we're going to talk about the importance of offering this opportunity for those with a criminal history. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, we're learning what could have caused a train to derail in Springfield. Norfolk Southern says crews discovered loose wheels during the cleanup, and the company says that could cause a derailment. Norfolk Southern says it's removed rail cars from service that had, quote, unusual wheel movement.
We now want to give you a live look this morning from the U.S. Capitol building right here behind me, where Norfolk Southern CEO was just in the hot seat answering questions following last month's derailment in East Palestine. Now, during his testimony, Alan Shaw apologized to people living in East Palestine, saying that the safety measures in place simply were not enough. And now lawmakers say they want to make him and the company do more.
Will you again compensate these families for their diminished, lost property value for homes and small businesses?
Senator, we've already committed $21 million, and that's a down payment.
That is a down payment. Will you commit to these innocent families do not lose their life savings in their homes and small businesses? The right thing to do is to say, yes, we will.
Senator, I'm committed to doing what's right for the community, and we're going to be there as
No,
long as it takes.
what's right for the community will then be balanced.
Back here in Ohio, we're hearing from people living in East Palestine. One person who lives in the area says so far the company has been vague in its guarantees.
There is no commitment from him on his end. At this point,